everybody. It is 5 o'clock on Friday, so you know what that means, right? It's time for Foodie Friday with the Cocoa Queen. That's me. So thanks so much for joining me today. So peaches are in season. I have a peach tree in my yard, and I'm going to tell you a little funny story about that. And we're going to make some delicious peach cobbler with only 4 ingredients, and we're not going to turn on the oven. That's right. We are making peach cobbler in the slow cooker so that we're not heating up the house on what's already a steaming hot day. It is quite humid here in Maryland. Let me know, is it hot and humid where you are? I was out mowing the grass and got in to get a quick shower before 5 o'clock with you guys. So before we get into it, let me introduce myself. So I am Jen Pierce, better known as the Cocoa Queen, because I'm absolutely obsessed with everything chocolate and cocoa. And thank goodness for me, I found this company called the Cocoa Exchange that is just as obsessed as I am. Literally all of their products contain either chocolate or cocoa. And I'm a total foodie. I love to eat. Where my foodies at? But I don't love to slave over a hot stove all day, spending all day cooking a meal in the kitchen. So I love the Cocoa Exchange for that as well. They make cooking so easy. They allow me to eat gourmet every day, from breakfast to dinner to dessert and more. And I love it. So let's dive into this today. I'm going to spray my slow cooker real quick. I think this will really stick, but anytime I'm baking in the slow cooker, I like to give it a little spray. All right, so what are we going to do here? So we have we're going to use peaches. I'll tell you our ingredients. Peaches, we're going to use our Dove Signature white chocolate baking mix. We're going to use a little bit of sugar and some butter. That's it, right? Super easy, right? So I've got these peaches. I have peeled them already, and now I'm going to slice them up. And while I'm slicing them, I want to tell you guys about my peach tree, because I kind of have a story that goes with it. So if you're watching the replay and you're just looking for the recipe, skip this part because this will be story time. Okay, guys, so I wanted a tree for the backyard, and neither my husband or I has a green thumb among us. We are not good at anything in the yard, keeping anything alive. We have 2 plants in the house, and that is it. Anytime we try to have plants, they just die. So, but I wanted some trees in the yard, and so, but I don't want to spend a lot of money on them because chances are they'll die, right? I blame our parents for us not having a green thumb, because both of us have a parent each that is really into gardening. So anyway, so I found these 2 trees at our local grocery store. Food Lion, I think it was. They had, I know, right? Getting trees at Food Lion. But they had these trees sitting outside, these little, couldn't be more than 3 feet tall, had a whole like 2 branches on them, maybe. Little nothing of trees. And they had like an ornamental pear and an ornamental peach and I think an ornamental cherry. So, and they were $12.99. And I was like, let's do this. So I got an ornamental pear and an ornamental peach tree, and we buried them in the backyard. And like I said, they were little sticks of nothing. So it was like, well, if they die, you know, we're only out $12.99 each. So, so they grew, they lived, and they grew. And a few years later, they were like full-grown trees. I was like, wow, this is fantastic. And the pear tree, you know, has just beautiful green leaves on it. you know, nothing fancy, but nice, beautiful green tree. And the peach tree, after about 4 or 5 years of having it, started giving us peaches. And I was like, wait a minute. This is supposed to be an ornamental peach tree. We're just supposed to get like little pretty flowers from it or something, not actual peaches. Note also that not knowing anything about trees, we didn't prune them, we didn't trim them, we didn't do anything. I don't know anything about doing all that kind of stuff. So the first year it gave us peaches, and it gave us these tiny little rock hard yellow peaches. And that was as big as they ever got. That was as good as it got for the first year or two. So just big enough to attract bugs and fall on the ground to where you could run over it with the lawnmower. Super fun, right? So I was not loving my ornamental peach tree. And then another 2 years or so go by of having these tiny little peaches. And I start to teach myself about trimming and all that kind of thing. And so we do that, and our peaches got a little bigger. And we got a lot more peaches. So about 3 years ago, if you're with me, if you've been watching this long, 2 or 3 years ago, you might remember I made a lot of peach dishes that summer because we ended up with a ton of peaches. In fact, we broke the tree. 2 huge branches broke off because of the weight of all the peaches on it. Yeah. So I was begging people, strangers on the internet, to come take peaches. I was like, please, I have too many peaches. So 10 years later, 8 years later, I don't know, whatever, however long we've had the peach tree now, I'm starting to get the hang of it. I'm starting to get the hang of how much to prune back and when to pick the peaches and, you know, fighting with the bugs and the birds and the whatever over the peaches and trying to get my fair share while not, you know, spraying poison everywhere. Anyway, that is my funny ornamental peach tree story that I still love to tell. So all of these peaches came from my ornamental peach tree. But of course, you don't have to use your own peaches. You can use, you know, peaches are in season, so it's a great time for them. Or you could really use any fruit for this recipe. Let me wash off real quick. Okay, so we're going to add to our peeled and chopped peaches here. Where's my it's in there? Like, where's the measuring cup? We're going to add about 1/4 cup of sugar, just to sweeten them up a little bit. Add a little extra sugar. These are actually really sweet. This is the first year that I've really had nice peaches, so it's pretty exciting. Other years, they've still been small, or like last year, they got bigger, but they were still really firm and not that sweet. So this year, they're actually beautiful. So, oh, sorry, you guys probably couldn't see that. So I just poured some sugar in and mixed it up. And then we're gonna throw that in our crock pot. So this was about 8 medium-sized peaches, enough to cover the bottom of your crock pot there. Super simple. Freeze them or can them. Yeah. This year I don't think I have. This year I can eat them. I don't have too many to where I can't eat them. All right, and we're gonna use about 1 cup. I'm doing a little bit more than 1 cup of our white chocolate baking mix, and you want to distribute that evenly. I know there's no mixing involved in this recipe. It is really the easiest recipe. I'm gonna try to distribute that evenly over your peaches. And then we're gonna add the butter on top. So it's 1 stick of butter cut into slices, as you're gonna see me do here. And then just putting the slices, like arranging them over your baking mix. And that is about it. Of course, you could do this with other fruits as well. I was thinking cherries would go really well with our dark chocolate baking mix. I think strawberries would be fantastic with either one. What would you guys do? What kind of fruit cobbler would you want to make? All right, I'm going to throw these in there and then show you guys how it looks. And then, of course, can't cut today. Of course, I will post the picture of the final product when it's all done. Almost there. I have made this before. Most dishes I make with you guys, I haven't ever done before, but this one I did do before. That year that I had the insane amount of peaches, I had done this recipe. And it was delicious. So I had to do it again. So if you can see there's my peaches, just have my baking mix there, and then my butter. And let's start sliding. And then what we're gonna do is grab some paper towels or a kitchen towel or anything like that, lay it over your slow cooker, and then put the lid on. And what that is going to do is going to help absorb any extra moisture in there so that you can get a nice crisp top on your cobbler, right? Isn't that always what we want? So I'm going to cook it on high for about 2.5 hours, or you could cook it on low for about 4 hours. And that's it. And we're going to have fabulous peach cobbler. It doesn't need anything else, any extra seasoning. Let the peaches stand for themselves. And I can't wait to try it. So have a fantastic weekend. Y'all, please like this, share it, show me comments. I love to see that somebody's actually watching me, and especially if you like it too, that's even better. So thank you so much for watching, and be sure to tune back in next Friday at 5 p.m. for another edition of Foodie Friday with the Cocoa Queen. That's me. Bye.